Sister Lan. You are back. Chi-Yu finally noticed her approaching figure and quickly stood up. How did it go? Were you able to meet with senior apprentice brother Su? She mentioned the one name Elder Lan didn't want to hear at this moment. I found him. She sighed. Then was he able to help you? Despite not wanting to answer her question, Elder Lan bit her lips and slowly nodded. Then why are you walking like that? Oh. Chi-Yu quickly realized how stupid her question was. How could she not recognize Elder Lan's sloppy movements when she, herself, had gone through the same ordeal? It took all of Elder Lan's energy and effort to walk back to her living quarters. Her legs would give up every so often, and the tingling sensation around her bottom lips has yet to subdue, causing slight water to flow out with every step she took. When the disciples saw her, they believed that she was extremely drunk. When she finally arrived at her living quarters, she noticed the little girl dozing off by the door. Chi-Yu. Elder Lan's mood became better at the sight of her cute face. Sister Lan, you are back. Chi-Yu finally noticed her approaching figure and quickly stood up. How did it go? Were you able to meet with senior apprentice brother Su? She mentioned the one name Elder Lan didn't want to hear at this moment. I found him. She sighed. Then was he able to help you? Despite not wanting to answer her question, Elder Lan bit her lips and slowly nodded. Then why are you walking like that? Oh. Chi-Yu quickly realized how stupid her question was. How could she not recognize Elder Lan's sloppy movements when she, herself, had gone through the same ordeal? Elder Lan frowned when she noticed Chi-Yu blushing. Why would she be blushing? Suddenly, Elder Lan recalled the night Chi-Yu came to her house when she spoke of Su-Yang. She remembered very clearly the way Chi-Yu walked around with her tofu legs, almost as though she had experienced something that absorbed all the strength in her. No way, did Su-Yang also touch you? Elder Lan covered her mouth with shock, not daring to believe her thoughts. Chi-Yu misunderstood the meaning behind Elder Lan's question and nodded sheepishly. That bastard, Su-Yang. Forget about me, how dare he touch someone as young Chi-Yu? She is only 12. Elder Lan cursed at him inwardly. I'll kill him. I will definitely kill that pervert, she growled in a low voice. Chi-Yu looked at her with a shocked expression. Sister Lan? And you, Chi-Yu? The sect forbids those under the age of 16 to indulge in any sexual practices, no matter how minor that action may be. You think I will turn a blind eye to it just because of our relationship? Chi-Yu blinked a few times in quick succession, looking a bit dazed at Elder Lan's frowning face. What does Sister Lan by that? She asked in an innocent voice. You are still acting ignorant now? You just said it yourself, that Su-Yang had touched you. Ah. Chi-Yu finally comprehended the situation and flustered, you're wrong. Senior apprentice brother Su did not do anything of that sorts to me. He only sucked the poison out of my legs after loosening up my muscle. Elder Lan's expression froze at her words. What? But senior apprentice brother Su is not a pervert. He only did what he had to in order to treat my legs. Chi-Yu said in a slightly angry tone. Even if it was her beloved elder sister, she cannot stay calm when someone badmouths the one who saved her life. It was a first even for her to see Chi-Yu get so emotional for someone she just met. And the image of Su-Yang's cold expression appeared in her head, causing a stir within her heart. He only did he had to in order to save her. Elder Lan looked down at her body, there was no pain, only pleasure. If he wanted to, he could have taken advantage of me during my state of vulnerability, even taking my chastity, yet he didn't do such a thing. Elder Lan was sure that during the heat of the moment, she would not have refused Su-Yang if he wanted to take things 1, even 2 or 3 steps further. She began regretting the harsh words she said to him. Not to mention she was the one who approached him for help and not the other way around. I took the shame I had for myself upon him as anger and offended him, I am really stupid. Elder Lan sighed deeply. She was ashamed of herself when she realized what had happened during the treatment, how she was acting like a dog in heat, the lustful expression on her face, the vulgar words that came out of her mouth, the way her body desired more, everything she acted upon during Su Yang's treatment had caused her to be ashamed of herself. Sister Lan. Chiyu looked at Elder Lan's disheartened face with a worried look. You are right, Chiyu. I apologize for speaking rudely about Su Yang. He did save your life, after all. Not to mention my butt. She showed her a gentle smile. After staying with Chiyu for a little longer, the two departed. When she returned to her room, Elder Lan undressed and went directly to clean herself. Inside the bath, she stared at her naked body, seemingly dazed. She was recalling the time she spent inside Su Yang's room, remembering the way he touched her body and the immense pleasure she felt between her legs during her discharge. Her fair hand suddenly approached her bottom lips, and she began caressing the little pink jewel inside the lips. Elder Lan wasn't sure why she was doing this, but her hands moved continuously, trying to replicate the heavenly sensation she felt before. However, no matter how much she rubbed or touched herself, the feeling was just vastly different from how she felt when her body was being taken care of by Su Yang. There was something fundamentally different from the way he touched her and the way she touched herself. It was as though her body was not satisfied with her own hands and only wanted Su Yang. Hia. Elder Lan left the bath sighing, feeling ashamed of her own actions. It was already midnight by the time Su Yang woke up. The first thing he did when opening his eyes was to cultivate. He sat cross-legged on his bed, and a profound aura surrounded him. His hands suddenly glowed a faint blue. He was cultivating the yin he collected from Elder Lan's holy water. Although the amount was pitiful, it was enough to benefit his cultivation base greatly. Virgins are really the best. Su Yang silently absorbed the yin in his hands, his cultivation base soaring with every second. The quality of yin or yang obtained from those who are pure and those who are not is like comparing heaven and earth, hence why pure maidens are valued far more in this world. Su Yang suddenly snapped his eyes, and countless flickering lights glowed within. He had a breakthrough, reaching the 5th level of elementary spirit realm. As for the progress on his physique, it had barely moved. That was the difference between chi refiners and body refiners. Every 100 steps a chi refiner takes, a body refiner would have taken only 10. Su Yang looked at the moon through the windows, feeling melancholy. The sight of the moon caused the image of a peerless beauty, who was known as the goddess of the moon in his past life, to appear in his thoughts, and for the remainder of the night, he stared at the moon, recalling the exciting experiences of his past life. Elder Lan woke up early in the morning. After dealing with the necessities, she went directly to Su Yang's living quarters. Elder Lan. Tang Hu greeted her at the door again. Su Yang, is he inside? Yes, Elder. Su Yang is still inside. I will go get him for you right this moment. Wait. Eh? I can get him myself. Tang Hu watched Elder Lan viciously knock on Su Yang's door with a worried face. To offend someone as highly respected as Elder Lan, Su Yang's life as a disciple in this sect is already considered over. Elder Lan, time sure passes by quickly. Is it already time for our next appointment? Su Yang walked out of his room with a beaming smile, and whatever Elder Lan had prepared in her mind disappeared like smoke the moment she saw his face. She then recalled the time she spent here yesterday, and her face flushed red. Elder Lan could feel her heart beating erratically, like war drums. This is the first time she's been so flustered at the sight of someone, let alone a man. Not to mention her image of Su Yang had changed dramatically overnight, and he seemed much more charming and handsome than yesterday. Even the core of her body trembled. It was as though her body could sense Su Yang's presence nearby, wishing to get closer. You. Elder Lan was speechless. Although she came here with a purpose, the moment she saw Su Yang, everything in her mind blanked as though it was consumed by an invisible black hole. Here, you left swiftly yesterday and forgot to bring this with you. Su Yang handed her the paper with her prescription on it. Elder Lan instinctively accepted the paper with stiff movements, her eyes still glued to Su Yang's face. Why? Why are you doing this? She suddenly mumbled. Despite all the harsh things I said to you, you're still willing to help me? Her words wiped the smile off Su Yang's face. He looked at her with a calm expression, his gaze flickering with a profound light. Because I am a man. Su Yang's simple sentence threw both Elder Lan and Tang Hu off their feet. What kind of answer was that? Because he is a man? I am a man of my words. You asked me for help and I gave you my word that I will help you. That's the only reason I need to help you. His words left Elder Lan speechless. Are you not satisfied with my answer? After a moment, Elder Lan sighed. No, that's more than enough. She turned around and walked towards the door. I will also keep my words and fulfill the conditions, she said to him, before leaving with a bitter smile. Su Yang, what's your relationship with Elder Lan? Tang Hu asked after she left. Their interaction gave him many questions with little answers, and he was curious. Just a customer of mine. Su Yang said casually. See customer. Tang Hu became even more puzzled. What kind of customer and for what service? However, he decided not to probe their relationship any further. He had a feeling that if he did, he would surely regret it. Su Yang left the house shortly after Elder Lan disappeared. There was only one place he would go so early in the morning, the training grounds. However, he brought with him a new sign, one that read. Heavenly Massage, experience 10 minutes of heaven at the low cost of 10 premium points. The sign caused many odd expressions to stare at him. Getting 10 premium points would require the completion of a low-rank mission that may take days to finish, yet Su Yang wanted to charge someone that much for a mere massage that was obviously exaggerated. Su Yang. There's a limit to how shameless you can be. 10 premium points for some shitty massage? That's robbery in daylight. I wouldn't even let you touch me for free, let alone pay 10 premium points. The training ground suddenly became lively with Su Yang's presence. Everybody there laughed at him and his sign, yet they were also secretly surprised. If they recalled it correctly, Su Yang's first sign stated that the first 3 would be free. Now that he's actually charging them, does this mean there were actually 3 idiots who were willing to trust him with their body? Su Yang stood there for the entire morning without a single customer. The training ground was quiet again with the disciple bored of talking about Su Yang. However, the moment the sunset arrived, a group of 10 disciples appeared near the gate, seemingly looking for someone. Because everybody within that group was a beauty, they quickly caught the attention of the disciples training there. Why are the people from the medicine hall doing here? Is someone hurt? Some disciples there recognized their red and white robes. One of the beauties suddenly noticed Su Yang and his sign, alerting the rest of the group. Everybody there watched as the group approached Su Yang, their gaze filled with curiosity. Are you Su Yang? Asked the beauty leading the group. I am. Great. I have heard great praises about your massage service from our master. She advised us to come here and experience it for ourselves. I hope you do not mind the number of people I brought here today. Su Yang smiled and said, the more the merrier. However, before I accept you, there are 3 conditions you must accept. We are already aware of the conditions, but feel free to refresh our memories. Condition 1, the session will only last for 10 minutes. Condition 2, you must share your experience after the massage with 10 people. Condition 3, you are only allowed to come back 1 month after your last massage session. The beauty nodded, our junior apprentice sister said the same, and we agree to your conditions. Then follow me. Su Yang packed the sign and left the training ground. The disciples there watched with disbelief in their eyes as Su Yang led the group of beauties from the medicine hall away from the training ground.